Hey everybody, welcome to Club Doom, a channel that loves to rip on content creators that probably have no idea that we even exist. I'm back again with a video about a topic that's actually been in the back of my head for quite a while. I've been watching content on YouTube since elementary school. Over the years, I've seen the platform go through a lot of various phases. I've seen changes in the website's layout, changes in how users interact with each other, changes in how the general public views the platform, and notably, the change in the type of content being uploaded to the site.
See the tiger?
As I grew up watching YouTube, I found myself engrossed in a wide array of different videos. I have fond memories of laughing at YouTube poops and Let's Plays with friends. I remember learning through helpful tutorials and online lessons for schoolwork. I remember getting into new hobbies by watching tech review and fitness channels. And I've killed plenty of time listening to podcasts and watching movie reviews. Part of what makes YouTube so great is that no matter your interests, you're bound to find plenty of new videos to watch. But you know, my time on YouTube has really been far from perfect. There have been days I've logged into YouTube and felt like I had to wade through piles of garbage just to see the content that I really wanted to. Like, it's just so bizarre to look back and see what videos have been popular over the years. When reminiscing over past YouTube, my friends and I have been pretty quick to mention content that we've hated as much as content we've liked. Another sentiment I've noticed is that a lot of YouTube veterans are apt to say that YouTube just isn't the same anymore, or they'll say that the platform has really gone downhill. Well, when? Is there a certain era of YouTube in particular that soured the taste of the platform? I thought it'd be an interesting idea to look back at YouTube's history year by year, trying to pinpoint what content was most hated each year, and at the end, ranking which content was the worst and seeing if we can nail down a low point in YouTube history. Now, I just want to start off with a few disclaimers before we get too deep into this. First off, this is a retrospective on some of the most hated types of content on YouTube, not necessarily the most evil or poorly made. When I say hated, I'm referring to content that may be considered annoying, tasteless, or controversial. The content I cover here is stuff that most longtime users are going to remember, nothing super obscure. I'm also looking at types of content, not necessarily single content creators. Sure, you'll probably see me mention notable examples in each category, but each entry is a type of content, not a person in particular. Also, I'm not implying that there's anything wrong with having enjoyed this content in the past or even enjoying some of it today. I grew up watching a lot of the stuff on this list, so please don't take offense to me trashing your beloved childhood memories, because, well, I'm basically doing that to myself here. The final thing I want to mention here is that tying each type of content to a year is a difficult task. The majority of these trends were popular for several years, and many of them are still being produced to this day. I use the Wayback Machine, Google Trends, Social Blade, and other online resources to help me make this list. I also got some feedback from some friends as well. You'll also be seeing some dishonorable mentions too, but not for every year. So without further ado, let's turn the clock back to 2005 and get straight into our first entry.
What do you mean, come on, man?
Motherfucker, we don't know what you're talking about!
Jesus!
I was like, wow, really? Okay, yeah. Wow, Cartman mocking me.
No, wait, I gotta do my pole tricks.
YouTube was founded in 2005 by 3 ex-PayPal employees who wanted to create an easy-to-use video sharing site for the masses. One of the biggest appeals of YouTube was its external video player that would allow users to host YouTube videos on other sites. So YouTube really got a lot of its early footing through exposure on external sites, most notably MySpace. In fact, Jawed Karim attributed social networks like MySpace to YouTube's explosion in popularity. With the mass exposure that YouTube received in the summer of 2005 came thousands of new users, and with more users came more content. However, with the site's overwhelming success and groundbreaking numbers of new uploaders came consequences. With what was estimated to be a new video uploaded every second towards the end of 2005, all this new content was getting really hard to moderate. Enter our first most hated category, the unregulated content. Now, in order to prevent this video from being flagged or whatever, I'm not going to straight up say it, but you probably know what I'm implying here.
What the f? Student watches and gets naked.
These videos were so prevalent, you could even run into them when you logged onto the YouTube homepage. This was pretty unfortunate, as it gave the site a bad rap by many. A lot of parents and teachers were more apt not to let younger viewers use YouTube in its early years, mainly because of the negative reputation it had garnered. Now, of course, some uploaders still get away with uploading explicit videos to the platform today, but back in the earliest era of YouTube, this sort of stuff really ran amok.
My sons has been downloading nipples all over. You need to help me.
What else?
If you have a video game console and a method of destroying it, congratulations, you can go viral with ease. At least back in 2006. Hell, you didn't even need your own console. You could just smash your brother's console and end up on YouTube's homepage.
It's fake, you dumbass. It wasn't your GameCube.
Even though these videos mainly attracted upset gamers, console smashing was a surefire way to get views. People used these lazy yet expensive ploys to launch their own websites. This trend unfortunately still hasn't disappeared, as videos of angry parents destroying their children's well-loved video game machines is still pretty popular, despite the droves of angry gamers who hop into the comment sections to voice their concerns. Wow, we've really evolved since last year, huh? Now we're not smashing Xboxes at the mall, we're blowing up NES games in our parents' basements. But in all seriousness, these gamers were just putting on a show. Most of them weren't actually destroying their gaming gear for no apparent reason. I'm pretty sure almost every YouTube gamer has at the very least heard of AVGN, but many of them are also well aware of the numerous clones that tried to leech off his success.
All I remember is the first one I saw, I think the show was called like Terrible Game Theater or something like that. And when I saw it, I loved it. And then a lot of others came, and then there was just so many you couldn't keep track at a certain point. It's hard for someone to stick out now, you know what I mean?
Now, these other reviewers' content ranged in quality from good to bad to, well...
Fucking A, this game sucks dick over a happy camper! I will shove my dick on my ass, and I will shove it to your ball! Eat the Einsteins!
Yeah, you get the point. Tons of people drew inspiration from the nerd back in the day, and as a result, YouTube was flooded with angry gamer content. Now, obviously not all of it was hated, but a lot of the more notorious examples are still trashed to this day. This type of content certainly isn't the most despised category on this list, but it'd be a disservice not to give it a mention, given its past popularity.
You're awesome, but you suck. I'm shipping you to Finland.
Hold up, most hated? I have the nerve to say YouTube poop was hated? I literally said earlier that I grew up watching it.
You stupid gay Luigi!
Well, here's the deal. I was originally going to dedicate this category entirely to anime music videos, but after much deliberation with other YouTubers who were active in this era, I decided to throw both AMVs and YTPs into this category. Growing up, you may have hated both, loved both, or only loved one. I personally loved watching rehashes of my favorite cartoons, but I didn't really care for searching up songs I liked only to be greeted with waves of AMVs that I could really care less about. On the other hand, we had users like my significant other who often enjoyed watching badass anime characters do their thing to catchy music, but was often disappointed to only find remixed versions of cartoons rather than original episodes. I really think the hatred for anime music videos and YouTube poops received from users was due to misunderstandings as to why each was created. I was upset that my favorite songs were being, well, ruined by 240p Naruto doing stupid shit for no reason. I have friends that were upset that they had to settle for watching SpongeBob in a form that they did not prefer. I'm thankful that YouTube poops and anime music videos alike exist because it gave a lot of teens a chance to sharpen their video editing skills. But at the same time, I can understand why a lot of folks didn't care for them. What the hell is a BEGTuber? Well, first, a little background on 2009 YouTube. At the end of 2007, YouTube started its YouTube Partner Program. Not only could you have fun making your own videos, but you also had a shot at monetizing them and making some cash.
So Google will put ads on your videos and you get part of the revenue for the ads generated.
Naturally, tons of users wanted a piece of the pie, but unfortunately, no one wanted to wait in line. So how did you budge to get ahead? Why, you could cheat the system. Need tons of subscribers to boost your sub count? Boom, sub for sub. Want more people to be exposed to your video? Boom, just tack it onto a more popular video as a video response, even if it had nothing to do with the original video. Want to gain the sympathy of other users and make them interested in your content? Boom, just write a bunch of crap about your creative endeavors in the comments section. Don't worry, you don't even need to watch the original video you comment on. When I refer to BEGTubers, this is really what I'm referring to. These gremlins would try every trick in the book to get popular enough to become a YouTube partner. They would make burner accounts to boost their sub counts, they'd convince other creators to host their videos, they'd refresh their videos over and over and over again to inflate their view counts, and when they'd fail, they'd abandon their channel and do it all over again. Now what kind of content were these BEGTUBERs peddling? A lot of them just ripped off Smosh and posted dumb shit like this.
Okay, I've been playing fucking Call of Duty for fucking 17 hours straight.
2010 was a huge year for FPS games. Actually, what year wasn't? This was the year that we saw the releases of Battlefield Bad Company 2, COD Black Ops, and Medal of Honor 2, amongst others. Coupled with the crop of other recent FPS releases, it's obvious why many gamers consider this to be the golden age of FPSs. With the popularity of these games came plenty of content being produced, but unfortunately, it wasn't all up to par.
Round lost? You guys suck!
Rage compilations and beef amongst players was prevalent, and the drama got annoying real quick.
Oh, riot shield! I'm a pussy that use riot shield!
And even those that weren't in the loop had tons of COD-related content spread about their YouTube homepage. There was a point that you couldn't log onto the platform without having at least one COD or Battlefield-related video popping up on your feed. And it didn't really help when huge corporations like Machinima were pumping out what seemed like an endless amount of FPS content. Now, I don't think FPS videos were all that bad. In fact, a lot of popular content creators got their start on YouTube thanks to these types of videos. In the grand scheme of things, there has been much worse content churned out on YouTube. Such as...
Hello and welcome to the next installment of DAP's Viral Video Commentary. Today we're going to see a guy get kicked by a horse. Oh man, he got rocked.
Flashback to 2011. I remember I was in middle school when Keenan was eager to show me the greatest show ever that he had just TiVo'd the night before. It was a compilation of funny internet clips with Daniel Tosh making bad jokes and quips for about 21 minutes. It was called Tosh.0, and at the time, I remember thinking it was awesome. Everyone at school loved Tosh.0. I remember a friend of mine calling it AFV, but cool. Well, it turns out tons of folks online also wanted to be AFV, but cool. 2011 was when Ray William Johnson rose to the most subscribed spot on YouTube, and his influence on the platform was palpable. Now for every viral video, we had waves of people reacting to it. I know he wasn't the first to invent reaction vids, but Ray William Johnson certainly made them popular.
How to get 100 billion views on YouTube. So here it is. Genius, right?
As well as the practice of using trashy clickbait to draw in viewers. Now, I know that this sort of content is still commonplace on YouTube, and a lot of other big reaction channels hadn't even been created yet in 2011, but given the rise of a reactor to the top of the sub count, as well as 2011 being seen by many as the height of his popularity, I feel pretty comfortable giving this year to viral video commentators.
Grounded, 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 grounded.
There's a big thing going on the other parts of the internet called about the reply girls. They'll take a popular video and you'll see all these girls, you know, they always put the titties out, of course.
Oh jeez. So remember back in the BEGTUBER segment when I mentioned video responses? Remember just a minute ago when I mentioned clickbait? Well, this is what happens when you combine the two. Reply girls were, well, girls who reacted to viral videos. The problem was that their responses were near brainless and honestly didn't contribute anything meaningful towards the conversation. I think it's pretty obvious why these videos were grabbing views.
Like, look how annoying this person is. You don't even see her face.
It's unfortunate that this garbage could be found in the video response section of nearly every viral hit. A tool that was supposed to encourage collaboration and interesting discussion was being abused by a bunch of losers who just wanted to make a quick buck by sitting there and doing next to nothing. What a shame.
SpongeBob is the best. He is the bomb. He almost exploded into pieces from the pie. Every time Scooter says something really rude, SpongeBob really likes it too.
Admit it, this video is fire. Jokes aside, Gundam Style was huge towards the end of 2012, and that popularity carried into 2013.
Dude, what
And once Psy's magnum opus began to fade, we had the Harlem Shake to take its place. What started as Pink Guy and his cronies jamming out in an apartment became a viral hit that eventually led to a massive wave of Harlem Shake videos. Now, it was a fun trend, and my friends and I had fun partaking in it ourselves, but due to the sheer number of these things, the trend was getting pretty stale pretty quickly.
Do the Harlem Shake.
Yeah, some of these were pretty awful. Oh yeah, can we also acknowledge that 2013 was the year that twerking took off? At the end of the day, these little dance video trends are far from the worst content on the platform. A lot of them were just kids having fun, not you.
And then Mr. Krabs is so cheap. Then the pirate from under the sea comes, sees him, puts him in the locker.
Thanks for the memories, 2013.
Pick out your whip so you can nay-nay. Pick out your whip so you can nay-nay. And do the stanky leg, do the stanky leg.
Vlog, day 69. I just realized that after I said it, what I said, but I'm not going to say it again.
Oh man, what a broad category. Let me clarify. When I'm talking about vloggers, I'm talking about people who opt to catalog their day-to-day life with videos of them interacting with friends and family. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with that, and sometimes these videos turn out to be pretty entertaining.
Look at it. It's probably gonna be a beautiful day, and I have to spend 90% of it inside.
But honestly, the vast majority of them are just boring. Let's take a look at this one, Kids Scared to Death by Roman Atwood.
What up, you guys? What is going on? What a boring day I've had. Let me just say that taxes suck.
Okay, it took about half the video. Let's see it. Okay, that was...
Totally fucking stupid, dude!
Okay, I know this next one is from 2013, but it's an old favorite of mine. Crazy Beach Fight.
Look at that little jet, man. I want one of those.
Now, I don't like this video because it's good. I like it because it sucks. I remember watching this with Keenan back in the day, and we were laughing at how absolutely ridiculous this was.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking boring as shit!
I feel bad for the people that got duped by this. Anyway, vloggers like Casey Larvey, Roman Atwood, Shay Carl, Logan McKay, and Colette Katie were dominating the platform in 2014. The reason why I say dominating is that, unlike many of the other top creators, vloggers could easily churn out content on a near daily basis. This is because they're recording their raw day-to-day life, and it required less scripting and editing than a typical video. It really seemed like most of the effort going into these videos was towards coming up with clickbait thumbnails and titles. When you clicked on a random vlog video, you rarely got the content you were seeking in a timely manner, and that's why these videos often attracted so much hate.
Not a joke.
Yo, it's a prank. It's a prank. It's a prank.
Do you want to buy a gun real quick? Fuck, stop, no, please stop, don't shoot, man.
Are you serious? That's what you do.
Hell yeah, of course.
What's up, villains? I'm fed up and exhausted with all this fake bullshit. I have big balls, and I'm not a bitch. Out of 165 videos, I maybe faked 5 videos. And it's not calling fake, it's calling setting up to make the better reaction. It's called, let me tell you how do I use this word. It's called...
Trust me, I would play this video for you in its entirety if I had the time. Prank videos around 2015 were huge, unfortunately. A lot of these pranks were either lazy attempts to piss off people going about their business, staged reactions by low-paid actors, social experiments about dumb shit, or a combination of all the above. We had comedic geniuses like FouseyTube, Joey Salads, and Dennis C going around being obnoxious. Daddy of 5 also got his start this year, and that channel was nothing but wholesome family fun. If you need the perfect example of why prank channels were so hated, go no further than Sam Pepper's 2015 hit, Killing Best Friend Prank. Not only was this video absolutely repulsive, unfunny, and poorly scripted, but the guy behind it was also a dude who previously made a social experiment where he sexually assaulted multiple women. Alright, off script here. How the hell has Sam Pepper not been deplatformed? He's the biggest piece of shit that's ever existed. I'm genuinely frustrated at this point. I need to watch more of that Vitali video to relax.
You trying to be fucking tough, run around Brooklyn and pull black people pants down? I'll be surprised even if you ask strangers for directions.
I'm having a difficult time right now because some people are threatening my life. Some leafy guy or team starred people are threatening me.
Now okay, in 2016, prank videos were still running amok, but I gotta throw this year to cyberbully channels, or as they may want to be referred to as drama channels, whatever. These creators dumped out brain-dead commentaries that mainly consisted of collections of insults targeting random internet users, often kids.
Yeah, look at these cringy kids having fun.
Like, we get it. Every awkward thing on the internet is cringe. Why do you feel inclined to throw it in every title? Oh yeah, much like previous categories we've delved into, cyberbully channels love clickbait. Great thumbnail for a video of you playing Minecraft while you rant about some kid who dared to post a video of himself on the internet. Why don't you go pick on someone your own size? Like Chris Chan.
Hello, my name is Apu. I went to
No. You don't have to do that.
They dress up in these cartoons. They have little babies that are dressed up like Spider-Man or like Elsa. And like this scene keeps happening over and over again where they have beer, they get fucked up, and then as the baby falls, the beer bottle bounces off his head and shatters and lands on the ground and the baby's bleeding.
This is the most bizarre, depraved, outright terrible garbage that has ever plagued YouTube. Now if you're a deranged adult into whatever the hell this stuff is, you're already sick in the head. But if you have the audacity to show this sort of thing to kids, you are the scum of the earth. ElsaGate was a lesson to parents that they must closely monitor what type of media their kids consume. And I want to throw a huge shout out to our good buddy Super Mario Logan. You're a terrible person as well. I'm not even talking about all the drama in your personal life. I'm talking about how you make a puppet show, obviously geared towards kids, and inject jokes about sexual assault and racism. Seriously, how awful of a person do you have to be to think it's okay to make kids videos with such sick and twisted themes?
Think about your goals and just feel that horniness towards your goals, okay? Because you're charging up with so much energy that your mind will act at a higher level.
Hey, you know what's super cool? When you're editing the video and you realize that you forgot an entire year. Okay, let's speedrun this. MGTOW stands for Men Going Their Own Way. You could place this term with Red Pill or MRA or whatever, it's all the same really. This subculture of YouTube is another that was rising to popularity in the late 2010s. Red Pilled content basically consists of dudes ranting that women they find attractive don't find them attractive because they find attractive qualities attractive.
I don't get it.
They analyze everything from jawlines to dating apps to pheromones to their lack of social lives. I think these types of videos are prone to mocking because a lot of the uploaders are insufferable, blatantly misogynistic, or flat out oblivious. They operate under the guise that they're intellectuals or philosophers exploring the complex relationship between man and woman. But in reality, most of them are probably just dudes sitting on their computers with too much time on their hands.
I'm in here for 12 accounts of second-degree murder.
Hey guys, have I ever told you about the time I used to love Storytime YouTubers? Of course I didn't. I've never liked them. Okay, personal bias aside, I think the hate for Storytime YouTubers boils down to three main reasons. First, folks are upset that this is the new animation standard on YouTube. Ever since the algorithm shifted towards dishing out money based on time viewed rather than view count, animators were pretty screwed. So what was the solution? Well, naturally to make longer videos, but in order to do so, you need to cut down on your animation quality, and you'd have to do some serious storyboarding to fill that longer time slot. Enter Storytime YouTubers. You can use minimalistic animation techniques and scripts will be easier to write if you're recalling a past event. Okay, I know YouTube animation isn't completely dead, but compare this to this. I think it's easy to understand why folks would be mad. The quality of the animation they watch for free online has, well, frankly, decreased. I'm not saying that Storytime animations are made without effort though. Second, people are quick to look at the different creators and assume that they're all the same. I mean, just look at how similar the avatars are. They tend to be black and white drawings with no ears, noses, or much detail at all. I get that this makes the avatars easier to draw, but when everyone looks so similar, some would say that this is a lack of originality. And finally, it seems like there's a toxic fan base. I know most of the folks who watch this sort of stuff aren't engaging in this sort of degenerate behavior, at least I hope so. But all the weird stuff that the community has is pretty disturbing to say the least. Go ahead, Google Jaden animations without safe search. Have fun. Now, all 3 points obviously don't apply to every creator, and I feel like finding a way to make animation work on YouTube has gotta be tough. Even though I and the majority of Club Doom don't care for these sort of things, I will commend them for finding a way to stay afloat on a platform that really isn't all that animation friendly. I personally think there is far, far worse content out there, so if Storytime animations are your thing, go nuts. This shit is gross. Nikado Avocado and Amberlynn Reed are literally eating themselves to death. I don't want to talk about this. Let's move on.
Who is it?
They're called VTubers.
I'll be back.
Brother, what are you doing? How are you in there?
Okay, right out the gate, I'm gonna say it. I personally despise VTubers. I don't find them funny. The models look creepy and their voices make my ears bleed. In my own life, I've encountered fans who have creeped me out and have little to no self-awareness. Okay, now, with all that being said, I don't think this is nearly as bad as half the other things on this list. From what I can tell, most clips are basically Let's Plays with a virtual persona rather than a real-life person. Now, there are some examples of VTuber mishaps that are pretty cringe.
Don't say the curse word!
But it seems like the vast majority of VTubers are just gamers sharing content they enjoy. Hey, if this is the stuff you like, go ahead, enjoy it. I personally don't see the appeal, but I'm not going to relentlessly trash something just because I personally loathe it.
You Australians scare the hell out of me.
You scare the hell out of me. What the f is this?
Alright, this last suggestion actually came from my brother, and after digging into it myself, I agree. This is the most hated type of content so far in the year 2022. Spoiler alert, YouTube boxing is the dishonorable mention here. I had second thoughts about making it the most hated in 2022, well, because the creator clash, at least at the time of writing this, has not actually occurred yet, and I'm starting to realize the majority of hate for YouTube boxing is more so only directed towards the Paul brothers. Yeah, they deserve the hate, I don't like them one bit. They're up there with Sam Pepper in the tier for worst f***ing people that ever existed. The hate for iDubbbz is more so just because he's a cuck or something. There's still a fair amount of hate though, as folks think YouTubers are an embarrassment to the sport. Anyway, back to PNG tubers. Now, PNG tubers are gamers with PNG-based animated personas who play video games. Now, looking at this as someone who doesn't actively consume their content, I think it's another VTuber situation. I don't see the appeal, and it looks kinda lazy, but it's far from the worst thing we've looked at today. Alright, we've just waded through almost 18 years of YouTube content. We've seen hated content that ranged from fairly innocent to absolutely terrible.
Pull black people pants down.
Ranking them from least worst to worst is gonna be a pretty tricky task, considering the variety of content in each category. Before showing off the list, I just want to encourage everyone watching to throw me some feedback. I know I've been on YouTube for a long time, but I'm only one guy, and the Club Doom team is only like 6 or so people. I'd really like to hear about the stuff I may have forgotten about or gotten wrong. Maybe I'll make a follow-up if I get enough quality feedback. Anyway, here's the list.
Bitch. Hi guys, it's story time!
If you don't subscribe in 3 seconds, I will slaughter 3 Iranian children.
Bust,
Bust that f***er.
Sex man for mayor.
No, I don't want to. You've been doing it for 1 month.
I got nothing.
All these girls, you know, they always put the titties out, of course.
I can't. It tastes like diabetes.
Well, you wouldn't know what diabetes tastes like.
Some leafy guy or Team Starred people are...
I have big balls, and I'm not a bitch.
I censored the cuss words in that video. I censored them. You suck. Well, there was only like 2 cuss words and we censored them. Junior was afraid of cotton balls.
So, now that you've seen the list, I think it's fair to say that it isn't much help in determining YouTube's golden era. Not only were the least offensive entries scattered all about, but we're really just looking at the most hated content, not the most well-loved. Besides, just because bad content was being churned out at a particular time doesn't mean that there was nothing good to watch. What I do see when I look at my list is that there's a pretty definitive era in my mind that YouTube saw some of its worst content getting popular. 2015 to 2017 were the years of the top 3 offenders. Out of every person I've talked to about this topic, they named one of these 3 as the worst offender. Obviously, not everything published in these 3 years was absolute garbage, but a ton of the stuff that was gaining popularity was utter trash. I wouldn't go as far to say that this was when YouTube died or anything ridiculous like that, but this was when quality content on the site really took a hit. Anyway, even though I had to watch a lot of this trash, I still got pretty nostalgic making this list. It's so interesting to look back at what we grew up watching and understanding how various trends have impacted the YouTube landscape.
And that's pretty much all there is to say.
I hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.